Where are the best places to live in Florida? Let's explore that. Let's explore that. Let's explore that. Do you want to first be in South Florida, North Florida, Central Florida? Where? South Florida is normally the areas in Miami. So we have Miami, Fort Lauderdale. All that area is called South Florida. West Palm Beach is also included in that. And then as we come up to like Port St. Lucie and these other areas, and then we hit Central Florida. Central Florida is a theme park corridor. So that there we have Orlando, we have Winter Garden, Winter Park, Windermere, Claremont, Davenport, Kissimmee. All these areas are in Central Florida. Then we go over to the other side of Florida, which is Northern Florida, and this is where we have Naples, Fort Myers, Sarasota, and then Tampa kind of fall Central Florida-ish on the outskirts, right? That's where Tampa is. And then we're of all these outskirts areas of Tampa, we have Gibson Town, we have Wesley Chapel, we have Land Lakes, we have Riverview, we have all these different areas, and some of the areas you've never heard of, right? There are areas on the outskirts of Tampa that people are like, is that still Tampa? It's in the Tampa area, right? But it's not really Tampa. So think about if you were in New York. If you lived in New York, you literally lived in New York, and you live in the Bronx, you wouldn't say you live in New York City if you lived in the Bronx. You'd say I live in the Bronx or Brooklyn or Queens or Staten Island, even though those are the 5 boroughs surrounding Manhattan. But if you're out with, you know, with some other people that don't know a lot about New York, you'd say you live maybe an hour, 20 minutes or 30 minutes outside of New York City. And that would give them a reference as to where you live. Same thing in Florida. If you live in Central Florida, you might tell someone that doesn't live there, you might say I live in the Orlando area. Even though you may not live directly in Orlando, you may live in Claremont, Davenport, Kissimmee, Winter Park, Winter Garden, Windermere, somewhere along that corridor, but you tell them you live in the Orlando area. Same thing with Tampa, right? Tampa, we have Tampa itself, and then we have areas around Tampa, like I mentioned, Wesley Chapel, Riverview, Gibson Town, Land Lakes, and all these other towns that are on the surrounding areas of Tampa, right? So that is kind of how that works. So what are some of the best places? Well, let me ask you first. Do you want to be close to the beach? Do you want to be 10 minutes within the beach? Or are you okay with driving an hour to the beach, right? Central Florida is kind of where you're able to drive an hour to different beaches. You could go to Daytona Beach, you could go to Cocoa Beach, you could go to Melbourne, you go to Tampa, you could go over to Clearwater Beach, and you could also go out to Siesta Keys, which is probably going to be about 90 minutes from where Central Florida kind of is, right? And then we have different outskirts. We have Winter Haven, we have Lake Wales that are not so much in Central Florida, but they're kind of on the outskirts going towards Northern Florida, if that makes sense. There's a lot of locations to choose from. When I was relocating here, I chose Central Florida because I figured I would follow Disney, right? I figured Disney was open for many, many years and they haven't been blown away with a hurricane like people love to remind you, especially New Yorkers. They love to tell you, girl, you're moving to Florida? It's so many hurricanes. And I have to say, I moved here in 2012 and I probably experienced maybe 1 or 2 hurricane that was, people were relocated. One serious hurricane didn't really hit us that much, but it's Key West and Southern Florida a lot. Let's talk about Key West, right? Key West is another great area to live, guys, if you're into beach. There's a lot of keys going down to Key West. What I didn't know was, before I went to Key West, I didn't realize that Key West starts from, you're starting from Miami, right? So on the outskirts of Miami, the first key is Key Largo. And then you have all these different keys going all the way down. Key West is at the very end. But all you hear about is Key West, right? You never heard about all the in-between keys that are in between that. So there are different locations on the keys as you travel down to Key West that you could choose to live as well. So some of the aspect that's gonna go with your thinking or your thought process is, are you still going to work? Do you have to literally go to work when you move here? Are you being relocated by a company and you have to literally go to work, or will you be working from home? If you're working from home, the sky's the limit. You could live anywhere, right? You could be like, I don't want to be too much into Disney World. I don't want to be too much into the beaches. I want to be in between both, which is great. So some of the areas I love the Winter Garden area, Windermere, Kissimmee, Davenport. I do love the outskirts of Orlando. I love Apopka. There are so much different locations that you could choose from. As you could see, I'm trying to do my outdoor video, and there's all these construction noise going on next door of me, and I didn't want to do the video inside because I wanted to show you, you know, a nice pool if this is winter for you, you know, right? To put you in the area of Central Florida or Florida on a whole kind of thing. So the best places are going to be either Central Florida. You could go down on the South Florida towards the Miami area where you have West Palm Beach, you have Boynton Beach, you have West Palm. You know, those are great locations, and you don't necessarily have to be on the beach there. We work with a network of agents that helps you in your relocation, so it doesn't matter where in Florida you pick, we could help you. I specialize in Central Florida myself, so I'm going to be, you know, more to going towards Central Florida, but I go to Clearwater Beach a lot. I love Clearwater Beach. It's one of my favorite beaches. It takes me an hour and 15 minutes to get there, and I love that area. I also tend to like the golf course, so I like Clearwater. I like Siesta Keys in Sarasota. You also have Bradenton on that side. You go all the way down to Fort Myers. You could come all the way down into Naples, which is the older side of Florida, and it's known for its older architectural stuff. One of my better location, guys, that a lot of people don't know about is an area called Palm Coast. I love the Palm Coast area. I got married in Palm Coast. That's how I discovered it. No, I discovered it on vacation. We were trying to find a location for vacation. We're exploring Florida when I first moved here, and my daughter found Palm Coast, and we're like, what's Palm Coast? Let's go examine that. And we end up loving it. I actually love it, right? Then you have the Panhandle areas that are further down, which we have agents that work there as well. But if I was coming here with kids, I would probably tend to do more Central Florida because it wouldn't be too far from the parks if they wanted to visit the park. And for an adult, it's not too far for the beaches. So you have those two locations to choose from, right? Schools. Let's talk about schools. Schools are going to be important if you have children, but there's so many virtual schools now. If you choose that route, that you could do that. There's a lot of private schools in Florida as well as A-rated schools. So you could definitely go to greaterschools.com and figure out what schools you want your kids to go in. If that's the determining factor of where you're going to live, then you could absolutely do that. Daytona Beach is a beautiful area. Alongside Daytona Beach, we have Deltona, we have Sanford, and we have DeLand, right? They're all these: DeLand, Deltona, Daytona Beach. We have New Smyrna Beach. So all those are beautiful areas you could also live as well. So if you don't really know the Central Florida area or Florida on a whole and you're not sure how to choose, definitely give us a call or send us a text at 407-791-4713, and we will be more than happy to help you. But if you're relocating to Florida, it doesn't matter where you go, because Florida is a beautiful state, guys. I have to tell you, it's beautiful. I relocated here in 2012 from New York, and I've not regretted one thing. And the one thing I tell myself is I'll only move from Florida if it starts to snow. Any day it snows in the Central Florida area where I actually live, I'm out. I am out, guys. Anyway, thank you so much for listening, and thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.